If you haven't been paying attention, by God's grace, the 2024 season has actually been pretty variable in terms of race winners. In fact, if you look back so far, this has been the most diverse set of race winners for the first leg of the championship over the past 3 years. And thank for that. Otherwise, I was beginning to consider F1 alternatives. And that does not end well. Trust me. And with this, obviously the first naive thought that pops in all of our heads is, does this mean there's a small slither of a chance that it will be someone other than Max Verstappen crowned as the 2024 world champion? Probably not, but if there's anyone else I would put my bets on right now, it would be Lando. And this is why. Well, first and foremost, the boy is good. If you've been following his career in the sport so far, you'll have noticed that there are signs of very clear and significant progress. He started out as a talented but still wet between the ears young boy, always being the cheery young guy on the grid you expected to do miracles in the midfield every now and then. He was also quite well known for just liking milk for a while. He really was a fucking child when he joined, wasn't he? In many respects still is, but he's just hit puberty. And over the past 2 years he's developed himself both personally and on the track, becoming in most people's eyes this new hope for the sport. But he's certainly getting close, landing his first win in Miami. Boy, what a race that was. Almost shit myself 3 times in the last 20 laps of the race. He's also scored 4 podiums, out of which a very close second in Canada last week. So in terms of maturity, he's there on the track. Maybe needs a bit of work still to mature physically. That mustache still more resembles pubic hairs than anything. And of course, in that progress, a big share is owed to the boys and girls at McLaren. Similarly to Lando's, track record is improving for the team overall. They're becoming more consistent and present in the top 3, actually f***ing battling for the win. And not because by some miracle Max Verstappen is out of the race. And by some miracle, I mean one of these 2 chaps. No, they're consistently on pure performance and strategy, battling the Red Bull. Singular. You'll end up lapping the other Red Bull eventually. Well, I would even say that that's not very surprising at all. If you've paid close attention to the McLaren, you would notice the sheer amount of sponsor logos on that car. In fact, the papaya orange isn't very papaya anymore. It resembles more the pride flag than anything else with the amount of color from the company logos. And if you compare the liveries to other top teams, Zach Brown is looking like he's cooking up more deals than the rest of the grid combined. Fuck. Give me a second. Hello? No. What do you mean the check from McLaren hasn't come in? I'm already making the video. It's supposed... Tell Zach that the check has to come through until the end of the week. Otherwise, I'm taking this video down. Alright? Bye. Sorry. Just got a call from my mom. Of course, some of the deals cost more than others. You can probably buy a whole F1 team with the amount Oracle is paying Red Bull. But there's only one Max Verstappen in the world. And importantly, with this money, the team is able to poach experienced engineers from the top teams, both gaining experience and taking away from Red Bull or Ferrari. That's f***ing genius. Honestly, they've figured out what essentially no team has been able to do. To go from dumpster diving in last place with Fernando to becoming a championship runner-up with clear potential of securing the dominating position in the sport. Maybe I should start calling Zach the chef instead of Fred. Unfortunately, Fred is the only one that looks like Skinner from Ratatouille. Oh shit, but Zach looks like the dead chef. What's his name? Gustavo, the owner of the fucking place. I love it. Also, competition sucks. There's not a lot of other potential drivers to compete against Max other than Lando. Yeah, Leclerc is there, but he's as inconsistent during the race as his mental health, and that swings more than an average young couple in Berlin. Sainz is good, but he's just been taken out by friendly fire. Lewis is old and seemingly gasping his last breaths in the sport, and George just tends to pull a Russell and lose out in the final few laps of every race. And this fucked out of a driver. You know what? What I'm starting to realize is there's a clear strategy that McLaren have employed here. One that could be the recipe for all the other runner-up teams. When you're sucking dick as the last, or second to last team on the grid, have to remember there's still Williams, and you're paying an enormous salary to a close to retirement superstar with no apparent results, you've got to just revamp. First, you change the management. Secondly, change the team, and most importantly, the drivers. Now, there's no need to go balls out on the most experienced and trophy drivers yet. That will come. What you need to focus on initially is being the crowd favourite. So you pick the young guys with talent and, importantly, a very good personality. Make a bunch of media appearances showing to everyone how cool the guys that you've now hired are. Or at least, show how f***ing childish they can be. So that the whole f***ing F1 fan base falls in love with your team. And from there on out, it's just smooth sailing. More love from the fans, more money. More love, more screen time. More screen time, more sponsorships. More sponsorships, better engineers. Better engineers, better car, better results, better screen time, better sponsorships, blah, blah, blah. You get my point. And that's the only way out. And McLaren have figured it out. And where's that led them? To Norris, becoming the next best prospect of an F1 championship. Boom. God save the king.